She belongs to her man now. They're married. They're happy. They're in love. They have a child. The saddest, most miserable women of the world are women who are sluts. All of them. They are unhappy. Arranged marriage all works out perfectly. Let's go to Saudi. No. We need to bring it back. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I could put my imprint on her.
Disgusting piece of trash and self-proclaimed misogynist Andrew Tate is now back in the United States, and President Donald Trump is denying any and all involvement in his return.
Sure.
Now, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate, who face charges in Romania, flew to Florida via private plane after a travel ban on them was lifted. Now, Romania had implemented a travel ban to prevent Tate and his brother from leaving the country. But all of a sudden, there was some pressure from the United States. We're gonna get to that in just a second. Now, any initial thoughts, Cenk?
Yeah, so I'm fascinated by Trump's backpedal, because that goes to show you again, he's starting to feel pressure on so many different issues from his own base. And I am genuinely surprised that his base started a bit of a revolt on this particular issue. Let's find out why.
So NBC News reports that the brothers left Romania while under criminal investigation over accusations of having formed an organized criminal group, in addition to human trafficking, the trafficking of minors, sex with a minor, and money laundering. Now, they have not been convicted of anything, but they are facing those serious charges. They were arrested in late 2022 and formally indicted last year for allegedly luring women to Romania, where they were allegedly sexually exploited. Andrew Tate was also charged with rape. The brothers deny any wrongdoing. Their lawyer told CNN, though, that they will return to Romania in less than a month because they've got a court date on March 24th. But Matthew Jury, who is the lawyer representing the alleged victims, told CNN any notion that the Tates will return to Romania if there's a risk of them being jailed is fanciful.
Okay, I'm just gonna end that part of the conversation.
Yeah.
They're not going back to Romania. It'd be mental to go back to Romania. Oh, I really miss Romania, and even though they might imprison me for decades, no, that's the last time they'll ever step on Romanian soil.
So Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism said in a statement Thursday that prosecutors had approved a request to modify the obligation preventing the defendants from leaving Romania. But it said judicial control measures remained in place, meaning the brothers are still required to go back for their court date, whatever. Okay. Now, the agency did not reveal who had made that request to lift the travel ban, but people are speculating that Donald Trump had something to do with it. So just weeks ago, Andrew Tate had posted this on X: "The Tates will be free. Trump is the president. The good old days are back, and they will be better than ever. Hold on." And 10 days ago, the Financial Times reported that Trump's administration had pressed Romanian authorities to lift Andrew Tate's, or the Tate's brothers, travel restrictions. The Tate's case was first brought up by US officials in a phone call with the Romanian government, and then followed up by Trump's special envoy, Richard Grenell, when he met the Romanian foreign minister at the Munich Security Conference, said 3 people familiar with the matter. A fourth person said a request was made to return the brothers' passports to allow them to travel while they wait for court proceedings to conclude. But Trump is saying, what? What, me? No, not me. Let's watch.
Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know. I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just talk a little bit about some caveats here, okay? And none of us know whether or not he's telling the truth for sure. I will say this though. There is a possibility that Trump has administration officials, including his special envoy, who are engaging in actions that he's not even informed about. And that has happened before. In fact, in his first term, he had a special envoy for Israel who went behind his back and started making promises to Israel without consulting with Trump. And that led to basically Jerusalem being named the capital of Israel. Yes, that did happen.
No, I hear you, but he authorizes it, right?
No, yeah, he did authorize it in the end.
And remember, his donor wanted him to move the embassy.
But the point, I know, Cenk, I know. But the point that I'm trying to make here isn't about whether or not Trump did the right thing or wrong thing about Jerusalem and Israel. My point is, he has all sorts of people working in his administration that he's named. He's got his tax guy. That was what happened with the Israel situation. I don't know, what Grinnell's actual profession is outside of being his special envoy in this.
Goon, I think.
Okay, whatever, sure. But my point is, people end up doing things without informing him, and that could be a possibility here. I don't know.
No, it's less likely. So I mean, look, we don't know, to your point, but Trump thinks that these guys are part of the right wing, base, and they're masculine, all these things that he likes. Is he bothered by the fact that they're accused rapists? I mean, piece of a pod. True. So he has no morality, so he doesn't care about any of the charges. They were with young women. There was no consent. Trump's you just grab them, right? So, and by the way, even if in the some percentage, small percentage chance that it wasn't authorized by Trump personally and it was one of his goons, does that really make it better?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. In fact, I mean, look, the fish rots from the head down. And if you have people working in your administration who are going behind your back and making promises or engaging in actions that you might disagree with, that's a problem in leadership.
Yeah, and so I want to get to the right-wing reaction in a second, but because what Trump is doing is A/B testing, as we keep telling you, right? So he's like, all right, the Tates, all right, hey, let's get him out of there. I'm gonna be a hero. I'm not a hero. MAGA's turning on me. Tate, what name so? Never heard of it. Okay, Tater Tots, never, I don't know. They're brothers, so they're insulting me, never heard of it. Get out of here, but okay. So, but look, he's walking it back. The minute he gets the pushback, he walks it back. So.
By the way, one other thing he lied about today, just to reinforce the notion that he tends to backpedal or lie when things don't really look that great for him. Remember, he called Zelensky a dictator in a Truth Social post. It was in writing. And today he was asked about it. He's like, I never called him a dictator. It's like,
oh shit, because by the way, they did the mineral rights deal. So now he's no longer a dictator. And not only is he not a dictator, Trump never called him one.
Yeah.
Even though we all can see it with our own eyes.
Yes.
By the way, for those of you on the right, this is Biden-esque. No, Biden is not old. And his mental faculties are fine. And Trump did not say dictator, even though we saw him say dictator.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, anyway, real quick on the right-wing reaction. Jeremy Boring, I think he's the CEO of Daily Wire. He's one of the founders, I believe. The way conservatives and conservative organizations respond to Andrew Tate arriving on US soil will tell you everything you need to know about them. Any organization or host who embraces them is engaged in far worse than a simple grift, though it is that. Andrew Tate is the enemy of any traditional American conservatism. Now look, and then Ben Shapiro piled on, etc. I understand that one's a little bit complicated because they hate his views on Israel. So they're like,
oh yeah, that's a good point.
So it's a little bit of both in that case.
But I will be fair to Shapiro because well before the ongoing war on Gaza, and Andrew Tate's comments on it, Ben Shapiro had done some segments, trashing Andrew Tate.
Yeah, and you see, you know what? I'll just real quick. I'll do Shapiro's comment as well because you see it both here. He says America does not need more self-proclaimed pimps and terror supporters, that's the Israel part, with outstanding criminal allegations of sex trafficking and a history of pornographic distribution, plus a grift university that suckers young men out of thousands of dollars. So both those things are true, and if you're into American family values, as the right claim to be, then you certainly wouldn't be in favor of Andrew Tate or the Tate brothers. It's the exact opposite. That's true. Although there is another guy who did a grift university and had to pay a $25 million fine. That's the guy that Ben Shapiro is pretending to like right now. His name is Donald J. Trump. But I just want you to know, it's not just Daily Wire guys. Ron DeSantis came out against it. Do we have that clip?
We do not have a clip of that, but I do actually want to. So Ron DeSantis spoke out against it and is like, no, I'm not in favor of this guy, landing in Florida. He did land in Fort Lauderdale today, but I give DeSantis credit for speaking out against Tate. I also want to just quickly go to this next clip featuring Tate speaking at the airport once he landed.
We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever. We have no criminal record anywhere on the planet ever. Our case was dismissed on the 19th of December in Romania under the Biden administration, and our prosecutor recently decided because we have no active indictment in court to let us go and return. This is a democratic society. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, as my brother and I are.
That's not true. They're facing charges in Romania as we speak.
Yeah, to be fair, it's partially true. So some of the charges were dropped, and that's what he's referring to.
I was going to get to that, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, Anna.
No, continue.
Yeah, and so, but there's still an open investigation, and so it's kind of disingenuous to say, oh, we've never been proven guilty. Yeah, that's because you didn't stay in Romania where you could have been proven guilty. Instead, you came here, and that's the heart of the problem. I'm amused by Wang Jun, as usual, one of our members on TYT.com. He wrote in, Andrew Tate answers the question, what if erectile dysfunction was a person?
I mean, dude, you bragged about what you were doing to women on your streams. And you want us to pretend like you're some innocent little angel. Like, okay.
No, but I'll give DeSantis a little bit of a credit for speaking out and saying, look, I didn't ask him to be here, and I'm gonna ask our government officials if there's anything we can do to make sure that he doesn't stay. Okay, which by the way, you shouldn't do. Like, okay, like I hate them. They shouldn't have been allowed back in, but you shouldn't drive people out. They weren't convicted of anything. So anyways, but I like that he pushed back. I don't know if that's some of the DeSantis Trump stuff back in now, because I don't know if you know this, but DeSantis' wife is considering running for governor.
Yep, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, and then but Byron Donalds is also running very likely, and Trump is backing him.
Yep.
So we can have another Trump DeSantis showdown. And so one last thing about it is I'm curious whether the family values portion of the Republican base still exists. Like, is there a single voter that's left in that base? Because if you were an evangelical family values person and you really meant it, which is not a big number to begin with once you say you really meant it, but if you did, you should despise Andrew Tate. And again, to be fair to the right wing, a lot of them are saying, yeah, no, this guy's terrible, and this isn't what we signed up for.
Yeah.
So, all right, interesting rebellions all over the place. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets its wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.